Hi, this is Jason Gorski and this is LightMeUp. LightMeUp is a participatory simulation which teaches children the nature of light and color. There are three windows in this simulation here. The one that you see right now is the tracker window, which feeds simulated RFID information, tracker information, to the rest of the program. We also have the black window behind it, which is what the classroom will see projected in the front, and the teacher GUI, which helps control the simulation. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to select simulation level 1A, which corresponds to our curriculum, and specify a certain number of kids, like let's say 12 or so. When we apply this, you'll notice that the black screen that's projected in front of the class starts to draw things on it. You start to see objects. As we move around the simulated RFID information, which would be kids moving around, you'll notice the ones that are tracked move around on the main screen. So here we're taking a blue object and we're putting it under a blue light, and as you can see, it shows up blue. But if we take that same blue object and we put it under a red light, we don't see anything. As children interact with one another, experimenting with different object and light combinations, they will begin to realize the relationship between object color and light. Now let's move on to a more complicated simulation, which includes more complicated object colors. First, we're going to grab a magenta object. This magenta object has both red and blue components to it. So as we place it under a blue light, we'll notice that it shows up blue. But as the kids interact with the red light, they'll also see that it is red. More interesting than that is when a red light and a blue light get close enough together and overlap, the object will show up magenta. This reinforces what they learned in lesson 1A and expands upon it. Simulation 2 and Simulation 3 are similar and just include more of these complicated colors. This teacher GUI also allows the teacher to control various aspects of the simulation. For instance, they may turn off true lighting. This just makes it easier to see the classroom display in a bright room, although it's not quite as accurate to what we're teaching. Also, they can pause the simulation so the kids can move around and they won't see themselves move on the screen. This will be good for keeping kids under control as they get a little unruly. If the display is still too distracting, the teacher can always stop the simulation altogether.